What did Jesus experience in his last 2 hours? The Jews dragged him to the cross, tied his wrists, and nailed his hands to the wooden frame. Each nail drove pain into his mother's heart. After nailing his left hand, they couldn't reach the right. They tied his wrist with a rope and pulled hard, dislocating his arm. Despite the agony, Jesus prayed, "Father, forgive them." He believed the harsher their actions, the heavier their sins, and he wanted to atone for them through his suffering. Just moments ago, the Jews demanded his death, forcing the battered Jesus to carry the cross. Along the way, they threw stones, spat, and insulted him. If displeased, they pushed him to the ground and whipped him. When they tired of beating him, they made Jesus carry the cross again. Eventually, he collapsed from exhaustion. His mother, overwhelmed with anger, rushed to his side, saying, "Son, don't be afraid, I'm here." To a mother, her child is always a child. "Don't worry, Mom, I'll start over." But the Jews never stopped tormenting Jesus. A woman, unable to bear it, bravely stepped forward to wipe his face. Meanwhile, they fixed Jesus' right hand, placed a block under his feet, and nailed his ankles, securing his legs. In a haze, the scene of preaching reappeared. Jesus had foreseen his fate and told his disciples, "I'm going where you can't follow. Love one another as I have loved you." Seeing her son's plight, Jesus' mother wept. No mother could endure such a scene. The Jews nailed Jesus to the cross, flipping him over repeatedly to check. After prolonged torture, his body was battered, but his faith remained unshaken. He prayed for his tormentors. Finally, they raised Jesus up. A criminal asked, "Aren't you the Savior? Why not save yourself?" The Jews laughed, and the priests mocked, "Didn't you say you could rebuild our temple in 3 days? Come down from the cross, and we'll believe you." Jesus ignored them, praying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." As his blood flowed down the cross, the sky began to change. The wind rose and dust flew. The Jews were terrified and panicked. Jesus knew his time was near. With his last breath, he spoke his final.
As the shadow of death fell over him, Jesus Christ, battered and bruised, hung on the cross for the sins of humanity. In his final moments, he spoke with a love and compassion that transcended his immense suffering. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Even in agony, his heart remained filled with mercy, forgiving those who tortured and crucified him. Turning to one of the criminals beside him, he spoke with the promise of salvation. "Today you will be with me in paradise." His mother, standing near, was entrusted to the care of his beloved disciple, as he said, "Woman, behold your son, behold your mother." Yet, in the depths of his suffering, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" The weight of sin was unbearable, and in that moment, he felt the distance from his Father. The intense thirst from the scourging and the crucifixion led to his simple plea, "I thirst." And then, knowing his mission had been fulfilled, he proclaimed, "It is finished." The work of redemption was complete. Finally, surrendering his spirit to the Father, he whispered, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." With these final words, he gave his life, his love, and his sacrifice to humanity.